boy picked up a rock and hurled it with all his might at the landmine on the ground. When the mine showed no reaction, he grabbed a wooden stick and shoved it into the fuse hole, trying to trigger it from the inside. Even after poking all the way to the bottom, the landmine remained completely still. The boy tried prying upward with force, and the stick snapped in half while the mine stayed stubbornly unresponsive. Jack had no idea how dangerous this was. Still determined, he pulled out a rope, looped it around the front of the mine, and prepared to twist it off. Jack needed the gunpowder inside to build a rocket. Only by winning first place in the competition could his family avoid being kicked out of the village. After all that effort, the landmine still wouldn't budge. Jack had no choice but to give up and leave. But the moment he stepped out of the forest, a massive mushroom cloud erupted behind him. Lucky for him, he'd gotten away just in time and wasn't hurt. Looking back at the completely obliterated trees, Jack felt no fear whatsoever. Instead, he excitedly grabbed a bucket of water and doused the village drunk to wake him up. Jack had heard that the drunk was a Vietnam War veteran who would definitely know how to make gunpowder. After plying him with 2 bottles of liquor, Jack successfully got the recipe out of him. All you needed was bat droppings mixed with sulfur and charcoal to make a rocket soar into the sky. If you wanted to take first place at the rocket festival, you had to add one expensive ingredient: salt. It wasn't until the day of the competition that Jack finally gathered all the materials, but since he didn't know the right proportions, he could only experiment with small test rockets. As expected, Jack tried over and over again, and every single attempt failed. With the competition nearly over, Jack dumped all his remaining materials into the rocket and, on a whim, added his own boy's urine to the mix. Then he hoisted the rocket and headed to the launch site. The competition was in full swing. Some rockets exploded right after takeoff, others blew up on the spot. Jack's father, competing for the first time, was scared out of his wits. Soon, it was his turn. Amid cheers from the crowd, his father lit the rocket. But at that crucial moment, startled by a competitor's rocket, his hand trembled and the rocket veered off course in a cloud of smoke, crashing straight into a villager's house. Grandma furiously cursed her son for being useless. Without a good ranking, their family would be forced to leave the village. Father instantly became everyone's target. Just then, Jack stepped out from the crowd, ready to climb the tower and launch his rocket, but he was too young and the host shooed him away. Jack could only run to his father and beg him to help launch the rocket. Having just been humiliated, Father was torn about his son's request. But seeing his son's helpless figure, he finally decided to give it a try. And so Jack's rocket was pushed up to the launch tower. The villagers had zero confidence in it. The moment it was lit, they scrambled backward, terrified of getting blown up. The next second, the rocket shot off like an arrow, cutting through the sky and soaring toward the heavens. The sight left everyone absolutely amazed. Suddenly, brilliant fireworks burst from the clouds. Father looked at his son with pure pride. Moments later, it actually started to rain. The villagers erupted in cheers. They couldn't believe that a child had actually brought rain to their village. Father and son were surrounded by the villagers, and Jack's family was finally fully accepted into the community.